What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City transfer update. Remember, guys, rolling out daily Manchester City transfer updates here on YouTube to keep you guys up to date through the whole summer transfer window. So if you haven't already, do subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. Do get your thoughts as well in the comments below. And finally, I want to say a big thank you to today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by Sofascore. Sofascore are going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest scores, statistics, analysis, and match information ahead of the new season. They're also going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest scores from all the sports that you guys love to follow, all in one place, all in one app. Very highly rated app. It's a free app to download, and anyone that does download Sofascore using my link in the description or the QR code on screen does help to support the future content created here on my channel. So we're going to crack on with this video. We're going to start off with the ins first, and we've got the very latest on Dani Olmo. Now, Fabrizio Romano has been speaking a lot over the last 24 hours, and he said that with the rumours of Manchester City wanting to make a move for Dani Olmo and wanting to activate his release clause are all fake information, fake news. It isn't happening. Says Manchester City appreciate the player, but as of right now, they do not want to sign Dani Olmo from RB Leipzig. That could change, of course, if we do see players leave Manchester City in this transfer window. It's always been a case that if players leave, they're going to need to be replaced. And so with Dani Olmo, no room in Manchester City's attacking midfield. So it'd take either a Julian Alvarez, a Kevin De Bruyne, or a Matheus Nunes to leave Manchester City if they do indeed want to make a move for Dani Olmo. But as of right now, them three named players are all Manchester City players and all look like they're going to be staying Manchester City players. So a move for Dani Olmo doesn't look like it is going to happen in this window, but summer's long, anything can happen. Now, we've got no contract news, so we're going to move straight on with the outs. And speaking of Julian Alvarez, got the very latest on him, and Fabrizio Romano has also been speaking about Julian Alvarez and says that Manchester City aren't going to be loaning Alvarez this summer. Said for Manchester City to even contemplate selling Alvarez this summer, it's going to take a very big proposal. Now, he says that further talks are going to be taking place between Alvarez's camp and Manchester City in the upcoming week to try and thrash out and sort out the very latest with what Alvarez wants, which at the moment it is believed that he is angling towards he wants to leave Manchester City. But like we've had with Bernardo Silva, it's very difficult to leave Manchester City when you're a player that's not going to be sold to another Premier League club. And so when you're pretty limited on who you're going to be sold to, and a lot of clubs across Europe just quite simply cannot afford to be paying the big premiums. Alvarez got a long time left on his contract, a world-class striker, a very successful striker, and that will command a very high fee, a fee that only very few clubs can afford, and the clubs that are being linked with a move for Julian Alvarez quite simply cannot afford to pay and sign Julian Alvarez this summer. And so speak of loans, rubbish, as we all knew. So moving on to the final transfer, and we've had a huge update on Ederson. Now, Ariyadhiah, I hope I've said that in their name correctly. They're a source over in Saudi Arabia. They said that Al Nassr may have pulled out of the race to sign Ederson as they can't afford his transfer fee, but Al Ittihad in Saudi Arabia are now interested. He says that Ederson is their priority. It's thought that Ederson is keen on a move to Al Ittihad, and Manchester City are going to be asking for the same transfer fee to Al Ittihad as what they asked from Al Nassr, which was 50 plus million pounds, 50 to 60 million euros we're looking at. Al Nassr, if you remember, were willing to pay 25 million pounds for Ederson. Manchester City wanted more than double that amount, and because of that, that transfer stalled, and then ultimately Al Nassr pulled out of the race and went on to sign Bento instead from Brazil. Now, it's thought that Al Ittihad haven't just identified Ederson as the goalkeeper that they're having a look at. It's thought that Jan Oblak is another goalkeeper of interest to them, along with Alphonse Areola, but it is thought that Ederson is their priority. Now, we were having a little bit of difficulties with this transfer, mainly because in the transfers over the last 5 years or so, everything is just so out there. Everything's so public, and Al Ittihad know exactly what Al Nassr's approach was with this transfer. They can't afford the transfer fee. They don't even have to sit down and speak to Manchester City because they already know through public knowledge how much Manchester City want and how much Ederson wants. And so with them now declaring their interest and that becoming public knowledge is suggesting to me that maybe they've crunched the numbers and they think that they can make a transfer happen. Now, Fabrizio Romano has given the latest on this deal and confirmed that Al Ittihad are interested in signing Ederson and have already made contact with Ederson's camp over a move to Saudi Arabia. Fabrizio Romano confirms what had been reported in Saudi Arabia that Ederson is still keen on a move to the Saudi Pro League. It is thought that Manchester City's stance right now is still the same from Al Nassr, as confirmed from sources in Saudi Arabia and through Fabrizio Romano as well. Man City looking for over £50 million. He says that it isn't going to be an easy transfer for Al Ittihad to get done, but they are going to try and sign Ederson from Manchester City. So I suspect that last week was a big week for Ederson, and Man City managing to fend off interest from Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia, and we all thought, phew, done and dusted, Ederson's going to remain a Manchester City player. But I did say at the end of that because everything's now public knowledge, I wouldn't rule out other clubs in the Saudi Pro League being interested in signing him, and here we are speaking about it less than a week later. I'm also going to put on record that because everything is so public, I wouldn't rule out, if there is a little goalkeeper transfer merry-go-round, that potentially other clubs across the globe could be interested in signing Ederson, not just from the Saudi Pro League. However, it is thought that with the massive transfer wage demand from Ederson, which the Saudi Pro League clubs can afford, a lot of clubs across the globe cannot afford that wage. And so when you're offering somebody double, triple their wage from a top European club to tempt them to come over to the Middle East like the Saudi Pro League clubs are doing, then all of a sudden that becomes an appeal. Also included is a lot of that money is tax-free as well. When you're another club that's competing, so let's say another European club's interested in signing Ederson from Manchester City, they're going to have to pay Ederson an even bigger wage than what Man City would have to do to tempt him to move there. And they're also going to have to put other aspects into place as well to ensure that the transfer was happening. So what I'm getting at here is there aren't many clubs out there that can afford Ederson, and considering now he's had massive proposals coming from the Saudi Pro League, I think Ederson's angle that he'll be looking at is the Saudi Pro League. But if there are other clubs out there who end up selling their goalkeeper who may be interested, who think that they can pay Ederson a little bit more than what Manchester City may be willing to do, they may be able to afford that transfer fee. At the moment, massive wage demands. Saudi Pro League clubs can afford that. They can't afford the huge transfer fee that comes with it as well, with Man City asking for over £50 million. But some European clubs maybe could afford that if one of these big European clubs do sell their goalkeeper to the Saudi Pro League and they do want to make a move. I'm not ruling anything out, if I'm being completely honest. Until Ederson signs a new contract at Manchester City, there's always going to be doubt on his future as far as I'm concerned. And it was great to fend off interest from Al Nassr. Man City may be able to fend off interest from Al Ittihad, but these rumours, these circulations, they're going to keep coming and coming and coming until Ederson either signs a new deal or he leaves Manchester City. He's got huge decisions to be made, not just coming up for Julian Alvarez in the next week with talks with Manchester City, but Ederson as well. If he does want that move, he's going to have to sit down. He's going to have to tell Manchester City that he does want to leave, and maybe there may be some negotiations in terms of that fee. But as of right now, City standing very firm. We're getting less than 6 weeks left of the window now. We're getting towards the point where if players are leaving over the next couple of weeks, they're going to have to sort that out to allow Man City enough time to find suitable replacements. It's fine when you're selling squad players, but when you're talking first team regulars, they're very difficult players to replace, and they will not be replaced inside a few days. It takes longer than that to sort out transfers. So we are now getting towards the very interesting part of this transfer window. Ederson interested in Saudi Arabia, another Saudi Arabian club interested in him. They're going to push to try and make the transfer happen. What is going to happen? We will have to wait and see. So there we go. That has been today's transfer update. If you you did enjoy the video, do leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. Let me know your thoughts as well in the comments below. If Ederson does leave Manchester City, who do you want Manchester City to go after to replace it? Don't forget to subscribe if you are new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Social media links, they're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And finally, do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by Sofascore. I'll see you all again religiously tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.